Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is another session of Star Trek Adventures Second Edition. We are set in the original series era, just after sort of the fifth year of the Enterprise mission, and we are following the Tempest, which is a Constitution class vessel like the Enterprise, and a workhorse of the Federation. And we are playing here as part of the Open Hearth Gaming Community. You can find out more about that at openhearthgaming.com. Yeah, that's our website. And also, hey, we have a online convention, a free one that's coming up the first weekend in October. Registration is just open today. So there'll be a link in the show notes for that. Well, I assume we'll find out. Uh, uh, as of me recording this, Google has taken my channel down, so we'll find out whether it's back up. It's a magical time. So we are taking up, we are playing with a layered set of safety tools. This is the second session. Or third session. I'll just remind you again, we are using lines and veils. We have a romance matrix. We are using the X card as our reactive tool, and then we have the open door policy. So just remember to check on those things, and we're going to go with that. But we are taking up with a new mission today, and I want to ask a question of Commander Chivilik, if I may, right here at the start.
Yeah.
Commander Chivilik, uh, there is an Andorian ritual that is both kind of physical, medical, involving your antennae, and also social, cultural. Uh, why is it that you don't want to do it? And what are the potential like physical effects of you not doing it?
I think it's like a trust exercise where I mean like in ancient times we would ingest like some kind of fungus that we found in the ice cave walls or something like this. But basically you agree to blind yourself for several days and like trust that you're like the sensory information coming in from your antennae and the other members of your clan will allow you to survive for whatever, for the amount of time that you can't see.
Hmm.
Um,
And
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 yeah,
and I think it's pretty obvious why I don't want to do that
yeah.
because I can't like I can't be on duty when that is happening. That's and yeah.
And but by not doing it, there is a physical potential drawback, something like that. What is that? Is it a lessening of your sensory abilities? Is it a pain? Is it a sensitivity to something? What do you think that is?
I think I kind of like the idea that whether it's psychosomatic or not, um, maybe it's one of those things for which there is no like hard scientific evidence, but every
Hmm.
Andorian swears that
Okay.
like if you miss it, like you start to get essentially hallucinate through your
Okay.
antennae, right? It starts getting your ability to figure out, you know, what's real and what's not starts to degrade the more you go without having done this.
And so on screen in our kind of like opening bit for the episode, we see a brief moment of that. Maybe it happens to you, maybe it's like what do we see? What happens to kind of set us up in that kind of pre-episode
Oh,
bit?
I'll tell you 100% what happens, which is that like um I basically like do like a physical comedy bit where like I go around a corner and I don't realize there's a girder there and bam, like it's something that you would expect to see in a blooper reel, like from a classic Trek episode, right? And like I'm just talking with someone and we go around the corner and pow, it hits me and I like fall flat on my ass and people are like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" and stuff like that. I'm like, "I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine." And I insist that I'm all right and that I don't need to go to sick bay, even though the captain probably is going to order me to do that. So,
Absolutely. We cut to to then. And to then, you are talking on one of those little screen things, kind of stand up on this little base thing. You are talking with an Andorian named Dr. Chivalric. And they are saying, I wanted to pass on to you some information that we have that one of your crew members uh, has avoided a necessary Andorian procedure. And I'm looking at the files, and it's quite overdue. We'd like to send you the notes on the Chevalar ritual. And if you could have him and assist him with the implementation of that.
I will certainly look into it,
Okay.
Dr. Chivalric. Are there reasons why this crew member might be avoiding this?
There's a pause. Uh, Commander Chivilik was not raised in an entirely Andorian household, and I do not know if that has colored his response to it or something else. I would not want to speculate beyond that. You may wish to speak with him and understand the nature of his objection.
That is sound advice. Thank you.
All right. And I'd like to have that set up. That is an intersection of two B plots for Taven and Chivilik that I'm putting into to play there. Uh, so now, we get the shot of the ship, in space. We probably see a starbase nearby, one of the old style ones that with just a main base and like three pods coming off of it. Very classic, very simple design. And we get to hear the voiceover of our captain. Rich, would you please give us the captain's log?
You bet. Captain's log, stardate 2272.2. The Tempest is en route to Xavius 6, where in a ceremony will honor the service and sacrifice of those who fought in the Federation-Klingon War 15 years ago. Though the guns have long since fallen silent, uncertainty still clouds our relations with the Klingon Empire. This ship carries her own legacy from that conflict, having served with distinction in the fighting. Fitting, then, that we have been asked to escort 3 special passengers to the event, officers who once commanded the Tempest in the war. Their presence will be a reminder that the past is never far behind us, even as we chart the course ahead.
And so now I'm going to pause. We have 3 people coming aboard. You'll see them in the NPC tab under current episode. Commodore J. Jerome Shelley, former captain of the Tempest during the war. Chief Ada Blacklaw, security tactical. They are retired from Starfleet. Commodore Shelley is still a member of Starfleet. And then Dr. Fontius, who was the engineer aboard the Tempest, but soon after the war retired and apparently turned his hand to xenobotany. So, Captain Isgara, you have a not great relationship with Commodore Shelley. He has been in charge of sort of fleet security and been behind a desk for a good 10, 12 years, but in Sector 00 at sort of Starfleet Command. What is the rocky relation there?
Commodore Shelley never quite left the war, or the war never left him. There's something they say about old soldiers. Not terribly complimentary, and he is Unfortunately, one who's itching for another fight sees everything as a threat. And the fact that I am a negotiator first frustrates him.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Probably not entirely enthused about you being placed in charge of the Tempest. Probably has made that known.
Oh, yes, he has indeed.
But Commander Moreno, you, on the other hand, have had a decent relationship, have had a decent interaction. What is that? Is that, some mentorship or a family relation or something else?
To look up the name because I keep forgetting. I think it was when I was studying under Captain Bateson,
Hmm.
and you know, that's we were involved in some Federation court cases, and I acquitted myself quite well and took to the Uniform Code of Justice, and I followed by the book, so he approved of that.
Okay. Yeah. Noted it approvingly, and certainly has been a person who could give you a reference down the road. Chief Blacklaw, after serving on the Tempest, moved on. Essentially, a couple of years after the war, the Tempest was put in dry dock for a refitting over a course of 18 months. A number of people got reassigned. Chief Blacklaw moved from vessel to vessel, in never in an XO or captain position, but had a distinguished career throughout that before retiring a year ago. Uh, Gwen, let me get your character's name in your display if you put your pop up for that.
Forgot about that. All right,
That's okay.
yes.
Uh,
Nara Vex,
so
Lieutenant.
Nara Vex, now, mind you, you're a Trill, so your
Mhm.
experience with them may be in the form that you're in now, or may have been an earlier life, though you wouldn't have served necessarily on the Tempest during the war. But what is your relationship, interaction, past experience with Black Law?
Mm. So I think prior um, iteration of my symbiont was uh, let's say Lieutenant Commander, I don't know, I haven't come up with a name. Frodenvex, and
Okay,
Frodenvex was in security and
okay,
actually served under him during the war.
okay. At least for a time, but wouldn't have actually been on the Tempest. I have a reason for that.
It
But
would not, you said?
would not have been on the
Yeah,
Tempest.
no, it was on earlier in his command
Okay.
when he was just getting started. So
So
Froden,
Black Law is a
yeah.
woman.
Oh, her. Okay,
Her.
Froden knew her.
She knew
Yeah.
her. Shall we say, do you think you mentored them in security, or did they mentor you?
Maybe we came up together. We
Okay, I like
graduated
that.
from Starfleet at the same
Okay.
time.
I like that. So a long, kind of old relationship. Uh, Commander Chivilik, you did serve alongside Black Law since the war on a vessel. What was your relationship or interaction with them at that point?
Let me see what's their deal?
So we'll see their
NPCs
yeah,
here.
security, tactical, never reached a command or XO position, but has moved around as security tactical for a number of vessels. Retired a couple of years ago from service.
I mean, I think I kind of like the idea that just we were um uh like poker buddies or something like that,
Okay,
you know? We did recreational stuff together. I was probably a junior security officer when he was a senior security officer, and kind of a la TNG crew getting together to, whatever lower deckers getting together to play poker or something
okay,
like that. We would play these like cutthroat, Scrabble games. Those like four of us that were always like, doing the thing where like you play a word that's fewer points because it cuts someone else off,
Absolutely.
like all that kind of cutthroat sort of thing. And so I think we are after like hundreds of games tied
Okay. I like that.
for like who's won the most games. Yeah.
It is Star Trek, so it has to be like three-dimensional Scrabble.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
you have to
yeah.
play
It's
it
like
in
the
several
you
axes.
like whatever, like swipe the letters around in hollow style or something like that. I don't know. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to then, uh, Dr. Fontius left the service as an engineer and afterwards became a xenobotanist, and that's what he's done over the last decade or so. What was your interaction with them like? How did you meet them? What was that like?
I wonder if Dr. Fontius was a guest lecturer at Starfleet Academy in xenobotany and Taven took their class, but was unsuccessful in that class and dropped out.
Is that a point of shame for a Vulcan?
Yes,
Okay, all right, I like that. They weren't angry; they were just disappointed in you. So there's the
yes.
classic. Uh,
Cannot be more disappointed than I am in myself.
Absolutely. So I think we cut to the transporter room. We see a guy in that weird little like a casual transporter uniform, standing there. Captain Escara, you're there. Who else is there to greet? And this is the first time we see the full like diplomatic uniform. That's the kind of a little bit longer, a little bit more
Ooh, yeah.
dress.
Do we have the oh
You got
God,
the
I can't remember.
salad.
This
Yeah. Oh
get the
yeah.
Yeah, I was
sash.
thinking,
Salad
Yeah.
yeah,
on the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking was the thing that Kirk's in like two or three or whatever the little dress uni thing. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's great. I love that. Especially spoilers, but like very minor in the end of season one of Strange New Worlds when you knew that which version was because of the dress. I was like, yep, that's cool.
Okay.
Anyway, uh, to answer your question eventually, Commander Moreno, of course, need my number one
Okay.
with me, and Tvin. Would have checked in with Vex to see if she was expecting to be part of the. Would I know about their friendship? Would I?
That's a question. Like, what is your approach to things? Would you have researched, cross-checked the
Oh
service of
wow,
these
yeah, I
people
could easily
against?
ask computer cross-reference all. Yeah, that's good. So then Vex, thank you. That is a thing I could have been proactive about. So I will think Chivilic and also Vex. So it's the entire command
Okay.
staff
All right.
there to receive them. It's it's an honor to have them here or whatever.
And we will see that transporter effect that we've described before as they beam in on the pad. Uh, we will see that Commodore Shelley is in full dress, like and very clearly the newest version of the dress uniform with all of the fine bits to it, a little bit of the extra finery, the new details, and so on. And you will see shorter woman, Chief Blacklaw behind him, definitely not in Starfleet uniform, though she certainly could have worn her uniform without any kind of thing. So it does feel like maybe she's made a point of not doing that. And then Dr. Fonte is kind of standing at the back. He has his bag over his shoulder, kind of clearly not trusting the shipping over of luggage. And Shelley will notably, Captain, you are muted, Captain, but I understand.
Commodore, welcome aboard the Tempest. I'm glad to have you here. Uh, Ada Blackclaw, Dr. Fontius. It is an honor to have all three of you here.
Yes. and the Commodore will look and will step over Commander Moreno. It has been some time since I spoke with you.
Commander, well, we've been keeping busy here on the Tempest, as I'm sure you've been keeping busy back on Earth.
Absolutely. You'll have to tell me of how your service has been here aboard this old reliable.
Mhm.
And the rest of you will note that Iskara kind of gets stepped aside from as Shelley does that. Black Law will walk over to where Vex, Chivilik, you two are, and will greet you, and will say, will nod at you, Chivilik, and kind of give a smile, and then we'll turn and we'll say, I understand that you are Vex.
Yes, and what is their rank?
They would be just lieutenant.
Okay. So Blacklaw, you said his name?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, Lieutenant Blacklaw, allow me to introduce myself. I am Lieutenant Nara Vex,
Nara.
the
I
new
like that better
composite.
than Froden. Froden,
Well,
yeah, not quite so rhythmic or musical a name.
well, I'm sure that Froden would agree.
Hmm.
And then for those of you who know Nara, her demeanor is changing a bit. You know, she's been much more normally from last episode. She's awkward, socially awkward, very nerdy, and kind of scattered. She becomes much more kind of confident, and she's like, "So, I mean, well, you know how Froden was. I mean, I think
That
Froden
I
knew how you
do.
were."
I remember that vividly.
I still have photos of it. Yeah, I still have, I guess, holovids of that night, you know.
Now that sounds like blackmail to me, but let's perhaps the two of you could show me to the quarters.
Right
A-
this way, Lieutenant.
And there definitely is a thing like she splits off away from Shelley almost immediately. Shelley goes over to Oscar and Moreno, and Fontius kind of stands there awkwardly and looks and then sees you to then the and we'll say, do I know you?
It is possible, Doctor. I was a member of your class at the academy.
I see. Then perhaps you would take me to my quarters post haste.
Certainly. Right this way.
And he notably steps around, kind of avoiding both Blacklaw and Shelley, and follows you out into the hall. And he will say, to Ven, I hope you'll excuse me if I do not recall you from the class. There were a number of people in those.
Of course, Doctor. It would be unreasonable to expect you to remember every student.
Uh, and then he gets kind of quiet as he's walking along. He is very much looking at the hallway, kind of assessing this, noting the changes, maybe not approvingly as you move along, as you know he was the engineer on this ship. Askara, you said you wanted to like get a read, on these three
Yeah,
here as we start. I think
I
that's
do.
absolutely
I
fair.
sense something.
Absolutely. What do you think you want to roll that with? What seems appropriate? Does that feel like
Insight,
insight,
insight feels very much appropriate there, and
command?
command interpersonal
Yeah.
interaction. So insight plus command is what I'm
Okay.
heading towards.
Let's have you roll that. I don't think you have a particular focus for getting this cold read, do you?
I probably agree. Let's see. Negotiation, maybe, but none of the others felt even close.
Okay.
And I don't think any of these fit either. None of the talents seem
Well,
to
you're
apply.
rolling with a 14 or less.
Okay. Oh my lord, these dice are so darn big. If only I had a focus, that would be three successes,
Colossal.
but instead it
Yeah.
is merely two.
Okay, so what is the first thing you want to know? You kind of have a little bit of the sense just from what I've described of the situation. What do you want to drill down on here?
What's the core emotion between these three? Are they just distant because over time they've grown apart, or is there some hostility that's masked?
Definite hostility. And if you had to like there's a sense to you that Blacklaw and Shelley, both kind of still being of Starfleet, kind of form one axis, and Fontius clearly doesn't want to have anything to do with this.
Mhm.
Like that's and is worried about that. But Shelley, it's hard for you to separate how much he kind of grates on you from your read here, but he definitely is antagonistic towards the other two.
Okay.
Do you want to ask another question, or do you want to throw that in the momentum pool?
We're early on. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I saw the threat pool. I thought it was a memento pool. Oh no, I'll throw it in the memento pool. Hopefully
Okay.
somebody can use it
La
later.
la la la. All right. So we'll put that up to a one. So Ascara, what do we see you doing? You see this kind of split out in this way. How do you want to handle this? How do you want to, take charge of this moment or hand it off?
Well, already Tevin has taken care of one thing. Seems like Vex number one, he'll take care of our guests. I have some matters to attend to. I look forward to seeing you at dinner, he says to the visiting dignitaries, and then he'll just like pull a fade.
Okay.
It's great.
Absolutely. And you can confirm on that. You have prepared one of the sort of the gathering rooms. There will be a reception for them. That makes sense. So Marino, uh, uh, what what do we want as your interaction here with Shelley? You've noticed the slight antagonism, tension
Hmm.
between him and your captain.
Yeah, I imagine there was like some like some deleted scenes of between Ed and I of like, well, yeah, he likes me more. Of course, I'm going to deal with him. And I think as I'm showing him to his quarters, I'm like, so, do you have any good? You still keep up with? I think he plays Go, like
hmm
the Japanese game. Any good opponents back in headquarters?
There is a Don ranked Starfleet captain who I've been playing against, so
No.
that has been
It's good to hear
interesting.
you're keeping your skills up.
And for some reason that kind of you see kind of actually rankles him a little bit when you say it that way. He says, I, I, I may be behind a desk, but I keep myself ready and able. If I weren't, I wouldn't be able to oversee security in Sector 00.
That's true, of course. You've
So
got a lot of
how
experience to offer.
I will take that as a compliment. How is serving under Captain Escara? He has a particular style.
Oh, the skipper's been great so far. I mean, he's teaching me a lot about negotiations. We are explorers and scientists and diplomats after all.
That is one facet of the mission that Starfleet is called to, but just remember that it is not the only one. If you wish peace, prepare for war.
Mm,
Well,
that is one outlook on things.
I hope to have a chance to speak with you privately later,
Of course. And here's your room, Commodore.
Commander. Uh, Vex, you've been handed to take Blacklaw to her quarters.
Mhm.
Chibilik, are you going to tag along, or are you going to go on to other duties?
Oh, I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of, like hang back three, four steps and just kind of walk along, and let them, and let them keep talking because I am already fascinated. And and going through my mind is there's video of that?
Yeah.
Hmm. So
And
yeah, I'm just gonna kind of hang back and let them, just let them talk. Also, this is not a Vex that I'm used to either, so it's very interesting.
so, Black Law will say, uh, science. That's that's unexpected. It certainly wasn't your aim or your forte before.
Well, remember, I'm Naravex. Froden was the belligerent one, let's put it. But do you
Yeah.
remember how Froden always had a creative eye for strategy and tactics?
Yes,
How,
yes.
like that time you and I uh, came around and caught that patrol of Klingons off guard, that sort of thing. Well, that same curiosity, I still have it, right? That lives on in Vex. But for me, I matched it with Nara's scientific interests. So now I approach my scientific problems the way I approached my military ones with you. Um, and so, for example, if you're fascinated, if you're interested, and then she starts just techno babbling for a minute,
Mm,
right? So
mm,
the Nara's coming
mm.
out here. She's like, so for example, the other day there was this problem with the inflow of the
She'll
flu
say, "You said if I'm interested, right?"
yes, hypothetical.
I'm not.
Right. You've denied the antecedent, we call that. Yeah, very good. Okay.
Therapist, yes. So how much did you have to retake at the academy?
Well, I was able to negotiate some advanced credits.
That's
However, they do make us retake because I am a legally distinct individual from
absolutely.
Frodenbeck's.
I was curious about that. So that's
I'm
that's
just
very
like a
interesting.
student that did a little extra work in advance.
Absolutely. Get to test out of some things.
Hmm.
How do you find working with this one? And she'll jerk a thumb back at Chivilik.
So, Vex is not particularly socially adept, nor was Froden. So they both aren't great at that. So she looks back and goes, "Oh, I forgot you were there,
She
Commander.
is she is delighted to work with me.
How could I possibly gainsay my commander when he's present?"
That seems reasonable. Uh, does he still, whenever there has to be a communication, does he have to stop and go through a full set of formal procedures before he passes the call on?
I don't know. Does he, Commander Javalik?
I follow the protocol that the captain established for me. You should know that.
Hmm.
Sorry,
He is.
that's not directed at you, Vex. That's directed at
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
He is a stickler for protocol. That's one reason
Protocol
why,
and
yeah.
elaboration. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's one reason why I don't engage in his wordplay.
Oh, you don't play uh hyperdimensional Scrabble?
I haven't had the pleasure of being invited.
Well, perhaps we will rectify that, Commander Chivilik. I mean, I'm rusty. It has been a number of years since I played, but
I
perhaps,
find that difficult to believe you're retired. Surely you have been hitting the tiles.
no, I am but an old woman. I toddle around the garden and
Hmm.
stir the earth and that sort of thing now.
And
So
solve
so
three crosswords simultaneously, no doubt.
so yes, we'll have to play then, won't we?
I look forward to it.
I will want. Uh,
Lieutenant Vex, I think you fail to understand the gravity of this contest that we're going to engage in. We are currently in a deadlock. Our last seven games ended in a draw, and we
Hmm.
have we have an equal number of victories to our name against each other, and this, I, I almost hesitate. The crew will certainly think me a bully for taking advantage of a doddering old woman. I'm
Fortunately, there
sure.
aren't any of those here.
Yes, well, I mean, sorry, a self-professed doddering old woman.
Ah, yes. Well, this seems to be my quarters. I will see you at the tiles later then.
Indeed, let me know if you care to make it interesting. And
Fair
that's when
enough.
and then the doors go. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, to Ben, uh, we'll say so. I'll just say so. You are the medical officer.
Correct. Are you
And
in need of medical assistance?
if we could go to sick bay, I probably should go over a couple of things. We'll kind of cut to him in there, and uh, when you get there, he will stop and he will open his shirt up, and you can see that he's got a number of implants on his chest, regulators, and so on. He will say, I uh, I had a fungal infection that I picked up during a terraforming a few years ago that did significant damage to my respiratory system. Uh, I've had these implants to regulate that. They can be a little touchy. Uh, would you please, if you could look over them and familiarize yourself with them in case there's some issue?
Certainly, Doctor. And Taven will indicate one of the kind of scanning units,
Okay.
one of the sort of big inbuilt ones, and get him to lie down in it.
Lay down, we hear that dum 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 dum, the
Yes,
sound of the thing above there.
the scan going backwards and forwards.
Uh, let's have you make a uh insight plus medicine roll, I think here.
Insight plus medicine, and
I think diagnostic expertise is going to be a, a focus of applying here. Yeah.
well, that's good. That's a 16.5 for me. I will not spend momentum. I'm just going to roll it, and we'll see what we get.
So that's two successes. So I think with one of those successes, like we can establish that you know how this works, you can see what it does, how it operates. You're confident that should something happen, you can adjust it. You know that you have, materials, spare parts, things like that that might be necessary for that. Uh, you have another success if you want to ask a question, or you can dump that momentum into the pool.
I guess would it be a question to determine? I'm assuming there is nothing wrong with them at this moment, but I'm happy to spend that point to ask that question if necessary.
He he is very clearly like this is a stopgap. This this respiratory thing is severe enough that it is taking a toll on the rest of his system. And it is very
Mm.
much kind of keeping him alive. And I think you will recognize that he is aware of that. And you would guess he maybe has, if he takes it easy, another year, maybe two, before this will burn him out. And I think he will kind of meet your eyes and will say, I am aware of the prognosis, doctor.
At the moment, these implants appear to be functioning within normal parameters and will continue to function at their current capacity.
And And he will sit up and he'll pause as he sits up and he will say, "Ah, I will I will do my best to keep my stress level down while on board, but that may be somewhat difficult. But I hope that I can count on your assistance."
Certainly. Are you expecting stress due to the celebratory event?
I'm expecting stress because I'm back on the Tempest. And he will hop up and he will excuse himself. I want to give everybody a chance to call a scene before we kind of do the, you know, like party reception with these people so we can interact. Just in case if there's you want to call a scene with a fellow PC or with an NPC besides these three, or is there something you wanted to take, like looking over computer records or doing something else, or Commander Taven checking in on Chivilic about his medical issue. Uh, uh, Captain Ascara, what scene would you like to call here?
This is a scene that takes place before the reception, or
Yeah,
does not
yeah,
have. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I had. It'll take me a second to get there.
Sure.
Uh, I imagine that Captain Ascara has, in preparation for this event, he wants to show Commodore Shelley, all of the things that the Tempest is undertaking. And so a lot of the science experiments, some of the things that we're researching, and he has asked some of the junior officer staff to prepare presentations, punchy ones,
Okay.
but presentations to happen during the reception, kind of a rolling cavalcade of like, here's all the cool stuff that's going on in the Tempest. And also, there will be a bit of an memorial honorarium for the Tempest for just this group that's traveling with us to the big deal.
I like
So,
that. Yeah.
okay, cool. So
Uh,
then I think a scene with some of the junior staff, or
yeah.
possibly with number one, reviewing what we have already looked at, anything along those lines.
Let's do the scene with Moreno, kind of
Cool.
between those. Like you're looking over the various departments have submitted their projects. Uh, what's your ready room look like, Escara?
It just wants to default to next generation conference room look.
Yeah.
Somebody help me come up with something more interesting.
One of the
Do
things is
My
that.
brain is
this is a
shouting,
room that's kind of
dog out,
not
dog
not
out, dog out.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was
There's
my
got to
first
be
thought
some
too.
baseball memorabilia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a locker room or something like that. That's,
It's a little silly. It's a
And
little
keep in mind,
too
this meeting,
far.
the room is a little bit different from Next Generation. This isn't like right off the bridge, so it's down on another level, probably near,
Okay.
so probably a little more officey kind of thing.
Yeah.
but I mean, is
Ugh.
it a thing where like we like instead of sitting around a conference table, like we sit on something that's more like couches with a big coffee table in the middle of us that we
Oh,
can pull stuff up
Yeah.
on?
Or maybe a
what's
whiteboard. Do you have a whiteboard?
oh, whiteboard's hilarious. What's conversation pit? That would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's
it.
great.
Okay,
Carpeted
there we go.
You
hallway.
certainly see a little bit of that in Strange New Worlds when they're sitting down. They're very casual about their meetings and stuff. So
That's
yeah,
true. That's true. They're usually meeting around food
yeah.
Do you
because the
like the
captain's
idea of
cooking. Cooking.
having a
Sorry.
baseball bat hanging on the wall that you can just idly play with as you're pacing?
Oh, oh no, maybe a baseball, not a bat. A
Yeah, all
bat gives
right.
me some like,
Well, but if
yeah,
you
talk
grab
about
a glove
teamwork.
and you're like just tossing the ball into it, whap,
Oh, that sounds
whap,
good.
whap, as you're
Oh,
walking
that's
around, yeah.
pretty good.
So
That's
do you
that's
think
fair.
that you are tense, Escara? Like, what is the mode that we see you in? Are you excited to have this opportunity to show off? Are you nervous about what the results are? Are you uncertain? Are you irritated by what happened in the transporter room? What do you think?
I think we pick up the scene with Ascara in the hallway, and he's chatting with a couple of the people as they finish up, whatever, and everything seems fine. Like Ascara is perfectly happy, unflappable. And then when he arrives for the meeting, as soon as the door closes, shoo, you, Moreno can sense the tension of like, don't like this guy. But he's not openly saying it because he knows that Moreno and Shelley have a
You
good
okay,
relationship.
Skipper?
Just want this to go well.
Yeah,
And
no, I get it, Ed. He's not everyone's cup of tea.
it seems to be your cup of tea, though, number
No,
one.
he likes me. Have our own
Why
differences.
does he like you, though, Tony? So, such a battle axe.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I did well under my previous command. I guess he liked me in the courtroom or whatever.
Okay. That was not an accusation. It was merely an observation and
No,
curiosity.
I understand. He's still harboring some clear. He's a very speak softly, carry a big stick type mentality.
Let me know the next time you speak softly.
Yeah, well, he definitely loves those big sticks.
Indeed. I, as much as some of his approaches in our current culture and attitude as the Federation are at cross purposes what I think we need to solve. I cannot deny he was the captain that the Tempest needed at the time that he served. But the Tempest
And you
has a
think,
different mission now.
yeah, well, I agree. He I get that he still wishes he was in the front lines of a war that we don't even have.
Yeah.
And I think this idea for presentations is good, but also it might bore him. I don't, do you, does it matter if you win him over or not?
Well, I've gone to all this trouble in the junior officer crew.
I
I
I
worked so
understand.
hard. Did you see the model?
Yeah, but how long do you expect this to go?
Which is
Because,
this? As everyone gets a soft five.
okay. And everyone includes this entire list. We might need to cut some names off.
We could, well, I do have some tiers ranks, but just imagine that it would disappoint the junior crew. These the junior officers worked very hard on this. Perhaps I'll attend the lower tiers versions, and we'll have to change. Tony, why can't this why can't this work? We're doing incredible work on the
No,
Tempest. I
we
just want
are,
him to see it.
but
I want them all three to recognize that.
this is a dinner function. I'm not sure having every junior officer present everything they've been working on is the best dinner conversation.
Fair.
Let's just stick with the five most interesting projects that we've got going.
Okay.
The top five.
Top five. All right.
Captain Escara, uh, why don't you make a presence plus command roll for me? Team dynamics is your focus for this. This is about like either establishing a trait that we can put, essentially, best foot forward, or we can generate
Hmm.
momentum with this. Let's have you roll.
Can I
Okay.
assist? Does that make
Yeah, I
sense?
like that. Yeah.
That's
It's like
awesome. I like
I'm the
that.
one that's going to have to tell, I'm sorry, you can't
Yes.
attend. I am the go-between.
I know you are number one. I'll like winnow down the list and go, here you go. You're the ones to tell them that their stuff is going to be later. I'm sorry. I was so excited that you mentioned one of my focuses. It was a control, or what was the attribute department? I apologize.
So I think it's presence plus command.
Ah, that makes so much sense. Great. Here comes 2D20. Giant 2D20. Oh my God, a complication? Wait, what is that called? What's the special
That's a
threat
complication.
pool?
That's a
Okay.
complication.
And I
Yay.
roll one die.
Yep.
I think
So one
presence and
success.
command makes sense for me too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So that's two successes. So would you like to create a trait like a preparedness or an impressive presentation trait
Ooh, I
or
think
or
I
or crew pleased or crew participation kind of thing?
crew trophy. Everyone gets a trophy, right? It's a bunch of Gen Xers. Um, that's a joke, by the way. That's just a joke. Oh, enthusiasm? A trait
Yeah.
of enthusiasm? I like
Yeah.
that. Good suggestion, Tevin.
Yeah. I'm going to put that little complication kind of over off to the side here
On a shelf, perhaps?
on a shelf over there. And we'll find that out a little bit later. Uh, let's go around Chivilic. Uh, what would you like to call for your scene here? Oh, actually, hang on.
I
Let's do this. I'm going to actually pause you here. Let's take seven. Let's take our first break here. Let's take seven. We'll go to five after. That way we can kind of hit the on the hour things. I've got that planned, and I know that Gwen has stepped away at one point, and Rich is out 15, so I do know have that in my mind. So just tell everybody. Okay, so let's take till five after. So Commander Chivilik, what scene would you like to call?
um I think
PC, NPC, doing an activity, researching something? What do you think?
I think I would like to I think I'd like to check into the with the captain to see what, what he's got in mind for me and uh you know, I suspect that I probably noticed that he was um I probably I think I probably heard through the grapevine that people have noticed he's a little cranky.
Is this one of
Um
those ones where you meet him in the turbo lift kind of thing, or somewhere else?
I mean, I think that uh yeah, I think yeah, I like a turbo lift. Yeah, that works for me. A turbo lift
Okay.
thing. Um
So, Captain, you come in. Commander Tuvilik is there.
Captain,
Abraham,
um just uh wondering how you're doing, sir.
I'm fine. If there, what have you noticed, Abraham?
Ed, did you ever were you ever involved with someone and then you met their ex?
Yes.
That's the vibe everyone's getting off of you right now.
Need to work on that.
Sorry. Permission to speak freely, sir.
Permission granted, Abraham.
And I stop the turbo lift and I say, it's your ship. You're our captain. And uh, it's kind of you to let the old man poke around. But uh, it's your ship because that's the way Starfleet works.
Thank you, Abraham.
Also, you look better in the uniform.
So you and Chief Blacklaw seem friendly, or did I misread that?
Oh, no, 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 no. I served with that old battle axe for a good 40 years or so. She's a um one of the better commanding officers that I've had. Um uh we've got something of a rivalry with the lexicographic that game that I play that you won't play with me after we played that one time.
I gave you the one time, Abraham.
You did, and I'm grateful for that, Ed. But yes, so the it's the game that pretty much no one on the ship will play with me anymore. She and I are she's the only person who's ever really
Beaten you?
well. She beat me plenty of times, and I beat her. But we're it's a deadlock.
Interesting.
We've had a stalemate the last several games that we've played. We only ever play in person because it's not the same playing over subspace relay. It's not, you can't, you know, I mean, like it would be like you trying to play, trying to hit fungos to someone in Alpha Centauri. Like it wouldn't work.
Okay. Well, with an analogy like that, I can't argue. Abraham, what if we have a match during the reception? The two of you.
Well, I mean, it would be up to her, of course. And, uh, I wouldn't want to embarrass our guests or anything.
So you're afraid.
Oh, 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 oh. Uh, no, no,
Okay.
uh,
Well,
no.
I will speak with Chief Blacklaw.
If
Um,
if she is
See
amenable,
if she's
sir,
interested.
if she is amenable, sir, it's the pride of the Tempest on the line, and I can assure you that I'll bring my A game,
Okay. That sounds great.
and I give the little twist that starts it going again.
And there's a moment, and Captain Iskara, like, past Commander Chivilik's, like, shoulder arm kind of thing.
And
Excellent.
and like we hit the floor and the doors open. And as he starts to walk out, I say, "Don't worry, we got this, coach." And then and then they.
Lieutenant Vex, what would you like to call for your scene here?
I think I'd like a scene, either one scene or two small ones,
Okay.
over the tonight's episode of interacting with Black Law, where at first there's a disconnect because of her expectations of who I am, right? It's a very
Okay.
classic Trill little arc. And then at first she's put off by the difference, but then by the end of that interaction, perhaps, maybe, she can see the connection again.
Okay. Shall we hold that for the reception bit and we can work that into that? Does that seem good?
Yeah, that can work. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do it during the reception, which means
Yeah,
nothing prior.
let's do that. Let's like start with you. We'll have you kind of kick off the reception framing for
Hmm.
that. Okay.
Okay.
Uh Commander Taven.
So I do want to check in on Chivilik. I want to ask Jim, Tiven and Chivilik have worked together for a while. Is this a situation where you think it would be? How would Tiven think is best to approach this? Does she need to come at it sideways, or is this, or is it better to be direct with Chivilik? Do you think?
Oh, I think Chivilic expects to then to be direct. So whether that means then that are going to do the thing that I presume you're going to do, or you're going to try and do a little and run around. But I mean, Chivilic sees Taven is direct. Taven doesn't beat around the bush. Taven is the best doctor with the worst bedside manner Chivilic has ever met.
Hmm.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. And where do I find you then? Is this the
Um,
elevator opens and Tavena's just standing there?
well, if you go looking for me, I am in I'm in the oh, we have a bar. We established that we have a bar, right?
Right.
Do we
Hmm.
know did we give it a name?
I don't think so.
Okay, I am in the on deck circle.
Okay.
Um and
My God, that's amazing.
you know, uh, uh, I'm in the on deck circle, and I am I
Yeah.
am like playing the computer in my the 3D Scrabble game. I'm like you see me like tapping letters in the air and stuff like that, and throwing sliding tiles around and everything. Um, And I'm like
And
muttering to
Taven,
myself, oh, that's the Sarek defense against the Sagrandi opening. Let me see. Like it's a chess game that
mhm.
yeah.
And Taven will walk up behind you and then deliberately kind of move around so that they're in your peripheral vision. Commander, can I have a moment of your time?
And I, like I kind of wave to pause the game and kind of lean over and sort of look at you. Sure, Tiven, what's up?
And Taven will take a moment just to ensure that there's nobody close enough to listen in and say, Commander, what do you know of the Chivola ritual?
What I know of the Chivala ritual is that it is an Andorian superstition that if you don't um, go through a process of deadening your other senses in order to tune into your antennae, that eventually something will happen and it will be bad. My mother told me about it. Uh, it's never the supposed symptoms have never really bothered me. It's because I'm half human. She was, I mean, whatever. She got a little upset, but I didn't get a bar mitzvah either. And so I feel like you know, so I'm culturally deficient on both sides of my family.
Taven makes a mental note to look up Bar Mitzvah later. You described it as superstition. Does this mean that you do not intend to attempt this ritual?
Not unless you ordered me to.
I don't believe that is within my chain of command.
Well, then I guess that's the answer.
The anecdotal evidence that I have been provided suggests that although there is no scientific explanation, there does appear to be some effect. If you do notice any symptoms, I would be pleased to help you.
I am trying to remember if I have ever heard you use those words In that order.
It is statistically unlikely.
I agree. Anecdotal. That is ooh, anecdotal. Anecdotal. And I like turn back to the game and I go and it like hmm, perfect. Thanks to Ben.
As I said, I am here to assist you if required.
Yes, yes. No, if I if I if if I break a leg, I'll let you know.
And Tavan will leave the bar to go look up what bar mitzvah means.
Okay. Uh Moreno, what scene would you like to call before we
Yeah,
move to the reception?
I'd like to have one with Lieutenant Bex.
Okay.
So, in the science labs, is that a fair place to find you?
Yeah, usually.
All right. She steps in. She's got the pad in hand. Probably, I don't know. Just wait. Did we have pads back then? I forget.
We've got some version of pads, but we've also got those little plastic
Early pad.
squares. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we've got
Yeah.
those.
Early pads with multiple discs on a belt because
Yes,
he's
Well,
making the rounds, checking all with all the department heads
you had
as
like the black square ones that Kirk would actually sign with the little
Yeah,
stylus, and you
yeah.
could slip the cards
yeah.
into the top. Yeah.
We have Palm Pilots. We're not at
Yeah.
iPads yet.
all right. Vex, good. You're here.
Oh,
Routine, just checking to see what projects you're working on. And also, awkward request for the upcoming banquet, I guess is what the captain, I heard him say.
Reception, yes.
Yes, the
Yes, Commander.
reception.
hmm
Considering your familiarity with was it Chief Blacklaw,
hmm
um, do you know what foods she likes? Chef is struggling, and we've had the idea that you might be able to provide some insight. And there's the scuttlebutt is you enjoy cooking as well. Would you like to assist Chef? I know how controlling they can be.
Well, I would be delighted. And I do know a certain secret ingredient that Chief Blacklaw well, used to really enjoy. So I think I can arrange for that.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so are you doing okay? Just checking in. I mean, we couldn't help but notice a change in the demeanor upon their arrival.
Mm. I am relatively new in my union, Nara and Vex, and Froden has never asserted his presence so much in Vex, you might say. The memories that linger with Vex from Froden's life are very strongly imprinted, not only because of their recency, but because of their intensity. He was a Trill that felt things very deeply. And in that regard, Narvex is quite different. Sublimating my emotions into rational processes and puzzle solving. So,
Yeah,
it's
no,
been
I just,
strange if you don't, yes, if you understand,
how do you
Commander.
feel? Are you okay with this?
Well, it
Like,
is part of my experience having to learn to integrate my past self with my present self. And it is sometimes a learning process.
I can, and if you ever need a break, someone to talk to, away from work, just relax. You know, my door is always open.
Thank you, Commander. Though I do tend
Please,
to
you can
find
call me Tony when
Tony.
we're casual like this.
Okay. Oh, we're casual. Very well.
The,
Um,
the pad is down. So,
Very well. I would be lying if I said I weren't, some part of my brain wasn't still thinking about this puzzle I'm trying to solve over here and the mathematics of the Schrodinger filter on the transporter pad. But I can return to that in a moment. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate your offer. I do tend to find that I process my experiences and emotions more efficiently when I am in the flow state working with mathematics or some science, some physics problem. For example, our Schrodinger question. Um, so I would like to continue work if that is okay. Unless, did you have something specific in mind? Because I hear that there will be
Some
a fr
presentations.
yeah, and I wanted to know whether I'd get an opportunity to share my latest discoveries in quantum mechanical applications to transporter engineering technology.
You are the head of, you are the chief of our science department. So yes, you will get an opportunity to present your research and findings
Well, that's Commander
in
Tony.
in a
That's
nice tight 5 minutes.
5 minutes. So I'll have to remove talking about the formation of the mathematical formula. Elucidating it alone would take 7 or 8 minutes. Um, and so then she's just like ignores you for a little while and just starts
Mhm.
like walking through her memorized presentation. And then finally she says, I can
Yeah,
do that
Tony picks up the pad and is like, yeah, no, science
I
is good.
I can do that in 4 minutes and about 45 seconds. So that will leave 15 seconds for questions. So I do hope that everyone has their questions ready. I might only be able to answer, well, several if they're asked simultaneously.
Well, we're leaving time open for questions. That's on them if they want to ask any questions. I'm not sure if they are prepared for these presentations,
May I make a
but
request? It has been my experience at academic and scientific presentations that the people most interested in asking the questions are those who are least educated on the topic. So, can we have an entrance exam, perhaps for the audience, or some sort of screening process? Because if we have limited time, I'd hate to have to explain rudimentary quantum physical
Vex,
concepts.
Vex, you know, our guests are who you're making the presentation to.
Well,
So,
that's what I'm worried about. I remember how poorly Blacklaw did in math and science at the academy. There's a reason that she went into security. She was really good at punching.
well, we all have our strengths. I will take your note under advisement, but I don't think we have time for an entrance exam for
Very
this.
well. I will try to practice my patient face when the
All right,
poor question is asked. Thank you, Commander.
all right,
Tony.
and as long as the chef expects you at 0900 hours, so or 1800 hours, I
Yeah.
don't
Soon?
space time
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
within the
I'm not.
next 2 hours.
Ah, very well. Well, then that gives me. I'll need about 1 hour and 52 minutes to solve this problem. That should allow me, if the turbo lift is running at full capacity, then so she's
I
lost in her
trust you,
numbers
Vex,
again.
and
Okay.
she's just like gonna leave while you're still going off.
Oh,
Right.
yes. Goodbye. And then she's
So I think we cut to a nice beauty shot of the ship traveling through space. So we can see that as our kind of time signal transition. And then we'll come into the reception area, this dining area that has been set up there. It allows people to circulate, but there's also some sit down areas. There is notably, a one of the Scrabble tables at one end kind of set up there. And we see the junior officers and people arrive. And I think that Vex, when you arrive kind of precisely on time, uh, some other people are there, and you will see that Blacklaw has kind of already seated and found like a table off to the side and has a couple of clearly people that maybe she's worked with and interacted with before that are seated there, and she'll gesture for you to come over, Vex. Come and sit down.
oh, thank you. Is it Chief
You could,
Blacklaw or
yeah,
I mean
Chief is fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Chief. Or how How are you all doing? I assume most of these people are people that
They,
Lieutenant Vex would be at least familiar with.
you know their names probably,
Yeah.
but they're actually not the kind of people that we normally associate with as Nara.
Mm, yeah.
And she'll say, I had to get you over here
Mm,
because I found out they're going to do some kind of idiotic lectures. So we're going to kind of like huddle here so we don't have to listen to those. So and then before you can say anything else, she'll kind of pull out, you know, a bottle of illicit Romulan ale and
mm.
kind of
Of
pop
course.
the lid on that and uh, kind of hold it as if to say 2 cups or one.
And then so she is confused from first she's wondering, she's reeling from the accidental insult. Then she's stunned about, oh my goodness, what have I got myself into? And then she laughs because that was a line we used to say, before every test or something, and so she says, the wise thing to do would be to say one, because I have been tasked with presenting one of the idiotic lectures, the leading idiotic
Oof.
lecture. In
What'd
fact,
you
you
do to
might
get
say
on
that,
punishment duty?
well, I am head of the idiotic lecture department here on the ship, and so we better make it two.
She'll pour out the two glasses of Romulan ale and hand that over to you.
She just downs one immediately and hands it back so that she can work on the other one.
Okay. Okay. So I do mention you're kind of there a little awkwardly with the
Yeah,
others. Uh, I think we see people come in. Uh, uh, we've got a nice meal set up. You definitely Blacklaw kind of gravitates to like she's clearly got a clique of people that she's going to talk with. The doctor comes in and kind of you will notice Iskara kind of moves himself off into a quiet place just to kind of listen to the lectures and kind of keep himself apart and keep himself kind of as far away from the other two as possible. Uh, uh, but certainly Shelley comes in and acts as if this is entirely for him, as if this is and takes full charge and will listen to the presentation. Let's do a quick montage of what we see each of you doing during this reception. I want to end with Iskara. Uh, Tevin, well, what do we see you doing during this?
Uh, hmm. I feel like Taven has been trying to engage the Doctor in conversation about xenobotany. It's kind of part of being a good host is to ask somebody about their interests and then just listen.
Absolutely, and he will talk with you quietly, comfortably. Vex, we see you kind of trapped at that table, trying to figure out your way on that, but you have drunk, so that does ease up Blacklaw's anxiety about you a little bit there, but uh, in that way that she's making you fit into the image that she has of you.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. Marino, what do we see of you here? What's your moment in this of as
I
we kind
think
of
Moreno is moving between all of the groups, just like trying to put out any potential fires with the junior officers, checking in on Vex, seeing if they're okay, if they need to be pulled out of there.
absolutely keeping a sweeping eye here? Chvilik, what are you doing?
I think this is where we get to see that the actor who plays Chivilic did stand up in his 20s, right? I'm the master of ceremonies for this thing, right? I'm introducing people, I'm doing segues between whatever, the boring speeches and stuff like that. And like I'm like, you know, uh 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 uh, uh you know, our next presenter is Lieutenant Naravex. She's, and I kind of run down the, like her qualifications and give a little idea what she's going to talk about. She, you know, you know, she's promised me she's only gonna, recite three facts that you're not interested in, like that kind of thing. Like and just kind of like keeping things moving and, kind of being the communications officer.
What is the hallucination that you have?
I think it's like 100% that like I'm kind of like looking at the room and the lights and the, whatever, and there's like a few dozen people here or something like that. But they start to kind of like multiply and the room's getting bigger and the crowd's getting larger and larger and the lights are getting brighter and it's starting to feel like I am, like I'm not just like running a meeting, but I am in fact on stage in front of all these people.
And then there'll be a snap and that's all gone there. And I think we do see you stumble for a second.
Yeah, I have to. I think I forget where I was in my pattern, and I have to like, yes, yes, it's Lieutenant Vex is next.
Excellent. Captain Iscara, what do we see you doing?
Sarah's really into these presentations. It's gone from I want to impress Shelley to no, we're doing incredibly good work. I no longer need to prove my my crew has talked me into. I don't need to prove myself to Shelley. I'm just going to enjoy this. And he takes delight. He takes down. He has a little pat. He has a small bit of like a little notebook and like a moleskin kind of notebook, and he's just scribbling a few notes to ask questions later because we're trying to keep to the five per hour,
Right.
but he has some questions and he's intrigued by a number of the exciting things. This is the first time he's gotten more hands-on in quite a while with what folks are doing. So that is what Iscara is enjoying this moment.
Captain, uh, you've been really into these presentations. They've really caught your attention. And so I do think that you maybe missed something when you look over and you will realize that something has been said that has darkened Shelley's mood. Like that you're not sure what it was, but you can see that he actually looks angry. I think you'll feel that vibe. What do you want to do?
In between a couple of when no offense, Abraham, but when Javilik's doing some of his bit after Vex's piece, Captain Iscara leans over. 'Cause imagine we're like, not far from each other. Commodore, everything all right?
And he will look at you like he turns his head dead-eyed at you with a look of accusation that says, you deliberately did this. You deliberately, whatever, yeah, that this was, you did something very deliberately. And he will look at you and he says, I am fine, Captain. Still not sure what set him off.
All right. Well, if something changes, let me know, Commodore.
And he will sit back. You will notice him take a look over at Blacklaw and Fontius, and they seem to have picked up on something as well. Uh, but they're not meeting each other's eyes at this point. But otherwise, this goes well, Captain Iscara. Your crew, does their presentations. You like them. Uh, uh, Is there any like vibe or theme that you want to get across with this reception? I mean, this is really you, this is a big action that you have organized.
I think the theme is that in hardship and in struggle, as well as in during exploration, the crew of the Tempest excels. Kind of the past of the Tempest, where the Tempest is now. It's the best of the best. I mean, some people say that Enterprise, but that captain is kind of freak.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're going to make him an admiral just to get him off the bridge, you know. So,
that's the truth.
yeah, so you are able to do that. Uh, Vex, I think there is a moment kind of after you've sat down that Blacklaw looks distracted, but then kind of comes back and goes, "Oh, that was pretty heavy."
Heavy.
Yeah, your presentation, that's uh and
Not to your taste.
no, I understood a shadow of it. Um,
Mm.
I'm just not used to you talking like that.
Mm. And then you can see her, she's sitting, like she even sit, and then she kind of shifts like this a little bit. And when the more Froden elements come out, she goes, I was going to say the same thing. You're not used to you being so gray and wrinkled.
It happens to some of us.
Hmm. Well, this is what aging looks like for a troll. We go through seasons, don't we? Um, Look, it's just like when Froden and you uh went on that hunt for the apex predator on, I don't know, whatever, GD Prime, I don't know. And it's like we had read and studied all about the experience, but when we arrived, we didn't realize we'd be arriving in a different season. It was it was unrecognizable from the work we had done in preparation. We had to improvise. That's also what aging is like for a troll.
I'm I'm glad that you remember that. There was a bit of a moment here where I was afraid that you wouldn't actually still hold those things. You, you are you are a different person, but I'm glad that you're still my old friend. And now I have to leave you because I have to go and whoop my other old friend's ass.
Oh, yes.
And I think that's the point at which she will walk over and gesture to the board, Chivilic, and sit down with you. Chivilic, what do you think the role is for this?
So normally, I think it would be like, when I'm like it's a different role when I'm playing with her than when I'm playing with the computer, I think
Right?
is what it is. Um I man, like I think I want to say that we have very different play styles,
Okay.
and like I rely on like playing basically, like there's two kinds of ways you can play Scrabble. Like you
Right.
can go for the biggest word you can, or you can be a jerk and like, play mainly to cut your opponent off and stuff like that.
Huh.
I'm a like I want to spell xenophobia type of player, and she will play the word lay because that means my ex can't go anywhere,
Okay.
right? So like our games tend to be either like she beats me in a low scoring game, or I get lucky and manage to get around it and like blow it out, right? So
I'm
I
going to
think that's kind
say
of what we've got, yeah, going on
control.
here.
I'm also going to let you use security because that is your forte. Like, I think
Yeah,
that
sure.
speaks to your personal style.
Okay.
So let's have you roll that. I have spent a threat to have her roll 3d20.
I'm gonna use my point of determination.
Gonna spend your determination
Spend my
right out of the
determination on
gate to
this.
get
Yes,
two
yeah.
two
Mm-hmm.
successes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
what value is it that you
The
are
Federation is my clan now.
okay?
I'm playing for the ship. I'm playing
Okay,
for, this is like against this retired, not even an officer who's trying to,
right, right.
yeah.
So 14 or less. You've already got two successes here.
All right. Do we have any determination in the pool?
We
Or
have
sorry, not determination, momentum.
we have one momentum in the pool if you want to spend that
I
too.
am going to spend that too. I've got the cruise pulling for me, so I
Okay,
feel like that's, I feel like that counts. So
3d20.
I'm gonna be rolling 3D 20. Here we go. Let me add those to the roll. Roll them up. Oh, I like to look at that 4 that I got there. I
So
think
that
it,
is going to be,
it was
let's
14,
see,
so I got 4
14.
successes
Got
there. I
four
think, right?
successes total. Okay.
Because my linguistics focus actually absolutely comes into play here because that's the whole point of this game.
Okay. So I'm going to roll here. I have a 14/5. Ah, wow. You smoke her. You absolutely drag her across the table there.
I start to feel. I think 2/3 of the way through, like when I hit a couple of like quantum triples, I start to feel bad. But I don't stop.
She is, I think I will give this to you kind of as a bonus thing. You can tell she's a little off. Something happened during the reception that has thrown her off.
Sure.
But there is a point where she will graciously concede. She will say, "My old and aged body has failed me. I I am I am a gray-haired, doddering crone.
And I reach across and I gently place a hand on her shoulder and I say, "Oh no, 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 no.
Bring me my
Your your
shawl,
your
Commander
aged it is
Tvilick.
your aged body did not fail you. It's your
My soft
your
and
withering
mushy
mind that
mind."
failed you.
Yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Point
And I laugh
well
and I and
taken.
you know and I and I and I wave some drinks over and stuff like that and we toast and do the thing. Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander Tuven, Fontius will kind of, at some point, you could sense that something bothered them through the thing. We'll ask, would you mind escorting me back to my rooms? Uh, the ship is layout is a little bit different, Commander Tuven, than I recall.
Of course. And Taven will stand and give a nod to the captain, and then escort the good doctor out.
And he will say, "I remember you now. There is no shame in leaving from something that is not your forte.
Still, it is something that I should have had better grasp of if I had been a better student.
When we are young, even for you, a Vulcan, it is not always possible for us to see and take up those chances that we are given. That is a small thing. It's not a thing you should regret. There are bigger things, poor choices, times you did not speak up that you will have and that will haunt you for longer.
Are we speaking hypothetically, Doctor? Or are you looking for some form of absolution?
That opportunity has passed me by. But thank you for listening to, as she said, this doddering old man.
Would you appreciate a shawl?
And he will look at you like is it and he's trying to judge whether that was a joke or no, thank you. But thank you for walking me back to my rooms.
It is an honor, Doctor.
And as this kind of breaks up, Moreno, Shelley will kind of come and will say, "Walk with me."
Yes, sir.
He still seems in kind of a foul mood when he gets back to his. He, of course, has the VIP, room
Of course.
there. He will go in and you see him sit and kind of gesture for you to sit down.
Yes. Sit across from him. Is there something the matter, Commodore?
This is my last voyage. The Another part of this ceremony is my retirement.
Ah,
They
I'd say congratulations, but I'm sure that's not what you want.
No, it's not what I wanted. I never wanted to be behind a desk, but they put me there. I After the war, I thought I would have the Tempest for another 5 years, but they put me back at Sector 00. And now after everything I've done, they're going to cashier me out at a ceremony for other people, not even my own individual retirement ceremony. You need to take what you want, Moreno. You need to grab it. Don't let them push you around.
Well, that's some interesting advice, sir, and I thank you. But is there something more that, because you seem more ups more upset now than you were when you first stepped onto the ship.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing. And you see him kind of shut down and looks off and he says, "That'll be all. You're dismissed, Commander."
Very well, sir.
Captain Iscara, you will see one of the xenobiologist people, the junior officer who came to give a presentation, uh, will come over to you. They work with xenobiology and astrogation, and they will say, "Captain, uh, may I ask you a question?"
After that one? Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I appreciate you putting me up in the top tier five. I know that you cut a number of people from doing their presentations. Um, did I say something to offend the Commodore?
What do you mean? What did you observe?
When I was in the middle of my presentation on the space whale migration and such, uh, like he started to look very angry. I mean, maybe it was something else, but I just got the distinct feeling that he was upset with me.
Was the was that the moment when I had also seen
It was
Shelley
definitely
upset?
you picked up that afterwards, like you're not sure what it was, but now that he kind of points at it, yeah, it does seem like that's when he started to get angry.
I noticed the same thing, Lieutenant.
Oh, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Did I say? I mean, it wasn't my intent to offend. I don't
Not
can't
at
think there's
all.
anything
Not at all. You did
objectionable in
nothing.
my report. It's pure. It's a pure migratory story. So I don't understand.
It's a great story, and I'm very proud of the work you put into it. And you really kept to the five. I was impressed. I have a few notes and some
Oh, good.
follow-up questions for later, for later. But to, let me reassure you, Command Commodore Shelley is a warrior and a commander, and the Tempest has a different mission now. I don't think I don't think what you witness has anything to do with your presentation.
Captain, we have an incoming transmission from Starfleet Command.
Go ahead. I'll
Uh,
talk to you again
okay.
later.
And I think we'll see you kind of do the move, into one of the private rooms, and we see the screen on the wall, and they green screen in the image.
Yes.
And we'll
Yes. High
see,
tech.
yeah, we'll see a stunt actor of some sort there, and you'll see Admiral Kerensky. Will look, Captain Ascara. I'm sorry to interrupt
Admiral.
you on your voyage. We have a situation, and you are the closest vessel in the area. I'm afraid we have to divert you from your trip to Xevious at the moment, though I'm hoping that I don't know. We're hoping that you should still be able to arrive in time for the ceremony. Uh, the SS Watkins is a freighter in a nearby sector. Uh, it has gone missing while traveling along the Devenian corridor. This is the fourth such vessel that has gone missing along this vital supply route. We need to
Pirates?
know. We don't know. We need you to get there. You're the closest ship, and given that we only lost contact with them recently, we think that you might be able to find out something. Is that acceptable to you, Captain?
Of course.
All right.
We're on our way.
And Starfleet out. Caught on that. Let's take our second break. Okay. I know that Glenn's gonna be out for a little bit longer than the break, but let's take till 10 after, just to make everything simple. We'll come back. What we're going to do is kind of frame up the kind of setup for our kind of going to get some investigation setups and things for the plot as we go along here. Take till 10 after. So I think we cut to our bridge at that point. We see Captain Escara, you're in the command chair. I think we've established that there is kind of a special chair for Moreno, right? Like, are you? I forgot. Are you
Yeah.
sitting beside, or you got a
Yeah.
special station? Okay. I imagine that Chivilic is at the comm station. Oh no, Marino, you're at the helm right now. That's
Yeah, it could be on the
when
helm.
you're out. Okay. Uh, 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 Commander Taven will put you up on there because we don't know, and this might end up being a medical emergency. And Vex is at the science station, and I think to kind of lead off the moment, we hear somebody say we're entering the praxis system, and that's the point at which the turbo lift opens, and we see Commodore Shelby kind of step out, and he will look and command Captain, permission to observe.
Of course.
And he will do that kind of thing where he doesn't sit, but he's kind of standing there looming, his hands on the little red bar thing. And you will are following along, tracing the signal, and I think then we see something at the distance and enhance, and uh we will see there, and there's the wah music stinger, and we can see that there is a freighter ship there, and it is absolutely torn open. It is ripped open. It looks like the ship's hold is torn open. Connected sections are torn open, and it is just hanging there in space.
See if there are any life signs.
Who wants to run the scan? This would be reason plus science or reason plus con. Do we want to do that one?
Reason
Yeah, let's
plus.
do reason plus con. Sure.
Okay, let's have you do that. Aided by the ship's die, which would be sensors plus con, so a 9 or less for the ship's die.
All right.
Roll high. We need some momentum.
Yeah.
Well,
I
roll low.
Roll low.
Roll successfully.
Roll good.
The
For
two
all
twos?
three of them. Yep, two twos.
Two.
I don't have a focus that applies though, so I
Dang.
mean radiation specialist maybe.
Oh,
So
maybe not.
that is 3 successes.
Okay.
So I will give you a couple of pieces of information and let you ask questions, and then you can follow up. No life signs. It is that it doesn't look like, from what you're reading here, that there's anything left in the cargo bay. The ship's electrical system is completely down. Whatever power systems thing, it looks like the engine is ripped out as well.
What should I
Engine
be?
ripped out purposefully, taken, or
So
destroyed
that's your
by.
first, that's your question. That's one of the questions. And as you kind of approach and look, the engine is gone. The engine room, that engine warp core there, it is gone. All the cargo is gone. Engine room completely gone. Pirates wouldn't do that. They couldn't do that. Second question.
I selfishly took the first, so I'll leave
What
it
should
up
I
in
be on
case
the
of
lookout for?
Uh, it does seem like you are picking up a an unusual energy trail. Like when you're running your sensors here, kind of checking, because you're checking, okay, what is there any radiation leaks or anything like that? You will pick up. It's just on the like edge of your scans, and you probably have to run it over to Vex's station to get a confirmation. But there is a trail of verteron particles. These are an unusual, faster than light particulate. Uh, not This is very strange, but there's definitely a trail of those. So unusual energy, and then I filled it in for you. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Captain, what are your orders?
No life science. Mark this. Uh, hmm. Let's see if we can find what did this.
Captain,
Options.
Captain, if we send a wake crew over with environmental suits and a portable generator, um, I might be able to pull the communications logs.
Go ahead, Abraham.
And I just nod at Moreno. 'Cause like, we're going into a blown up ship in exosuits, and that means, I want her along too.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and assuming Commander that you're on board, we'll hit the turbo lift and head to the transport room.
Uh, are you taking anyone else with you?
Devin, can
Moreno?
you attend them?
Yes, Captain. It would be good to determine the fate of the crew, if possible.
Agreed. Grab a couple of security officers to bring along, just in case.
Absolutely, sir.
And we'll see you go over for this kind of short-term operation within a ship where you've got some things and close by the ship. You can actually use the portable force field belts to protect yourselves. They actually create it's a very short-term thing, but it's useful for this kind of thing, especially when you do visual interactions and such.
Sure.
So we'll see you put those on. These are from the animated series,
Yeah.
and we will see three of you beam into the cargo bay. Inside the ship, we built a nice set for it. Uh, uh, to then there are bodies here. Let's have you make uh, um, a reason or control plus medicine roll.
To reason and medicine.
Okay.
Uh, would diagnostic expertise apply
Yes,
here?
absolutely.
Okay. All right. I will not spend momentum. Okay, so nothing under 5, but 2
Two
successes.
successes. So they seems to have been for these people, a sudden exposure into space. Clearly, this isn't all the crew, but the ones that you do find, some of them may have floated away or been grabbed up with the cargo, you're not sure. But the ones that are here is, sudden explosive decompression, freezing effects of space. But the other thing is that they all show like they took a massive blast of radiation. Like they, at the same time that happened, they took radiation. You're far enough away from the star here and things that you kind of compensate for that in terms of the background radiation. It doesn't seem like it's that. Whatever did this also gave off a heavy dose of radiation. Does that seem like a reasonable answer?
Yes.
Okay. You don't find any survivors. I think as you check on through, nobody hidden away in sealed compartments that might not have been picked up. Um,
But the damage of the ship, is it inward facing or outward facing?
well, let's have you make a reasonable engineering roll for that observation, and then I'll have Captain Commander Chivilik make to like try and draw the records out.
Reason plus engineering. Okay. Yep. Is this no. Damn it. All right.
We have momentum in the mental.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you
No.
like it to not be any? Get up from an extra
I
die.
will yeah, I'll spend a momentum.
Okay.
But also I will spend a determination.
sure you want to do that? That's for this mission, this
Yeah, well,
episode. So,
look,
if you're
I
not going to have it
will.
next
Look,
time,
trust me. This is what I'm
okay.
doing.
All right, I like it.
I'm spending a
So,
determination to add 4 momentum to the pool
okay. All right.
because 3 for the talent and 1 because of faith of the heart.
Okay. So we'll mark your determination 0. You've got 4 momentum in the pool. You spent one, so roll 3d20.
All right. I may not do well, but I'm gonna try and help everyone else. Oh, I got 1 success, so probably not enough, but
I think that your stomach drops out a little here as you are looking at this tear out and stuff. And you're walking around, and you're probably by yourself at this point. Devet is checking the bodies. Commander Civilic is headed up, and you're looking, and it takes you a second, and you will realize it looks like the damage here was caused by massive teeth. Something bit into this ship, ate the cargo, ripped, tore the engine out. Some massive, unearthly thing. Commander Chivilic,
Yeah.
let's have you make a roll to draw information from the computer systems here.
Yeah.
It says to be con plus control.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah, and Chivuk, like, kind of when we beamed in, I've got like whatever, like they beam us in with like one of those, like a big plastic case, and I pop it, and I pull out something that looks like a miniature warp nacelle, right? And I prop it next to the panel, and I yank a couple of wires from underneath, and I plug them in, and then I twist the top and it starts to, glow blue, and then the panel lights up, and we're gonna see whether like does it light up and then I can use it, or does it start showering sparks?
Okay.
I think is what's gonna happen here. So, um, uh, I've got communication systems as
Yeah,
a
we'll let you
focus.
do that. So 12/3.
Can I? Does this count as using this ship's systems?
No, because systems are down.
Okay, so I got to
That was
get
a
it
nice
up
try, though. I
first
like
before I
that.
can. Let's see.
Good.
I have a special thing that lets me help with that. So, 2 dice. I'm going to spend a momentum to give myself a third,
Okay.
and I've got my focus coming into play here. So let's do this. Oh, look at that!
One,
Hot
two,
damn!
3, 4 successes. So I'm going to give you the information based on 2 successes, and then you can decide what you want to do for the other 2.
I think that's is that. I think that's 5 successes.
1, 2. What is your con?
Oh no! My con's only 3. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
that's
was
good.
thinking of
Yeah, right.
I was thinking of command. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry about that. Yeah,
So you
but
get
4. Yeah,
so we've got 2 momentum left, but here's what I tell you.
yep.
You check the communications logs, and they are everything normal, everything normal, and then communication dies. And
So
you'll
okay.
pull up the visuals, like you
Hmm.
pull up the visual
Yeah,
screens, and they are flying along, they're flying along, and then catastrophic system failure.
got it.
Nothing on sensors,
Okay.
nothing, and then they're destroyed.
Man, oh man. Okay, and that's what I get with 2
That's what you get two
successes.
with successes.
Um, what was if I listened in on their communications chatter? What were they doing? Were they just traveling? Were
They're
they
just traveling.
in a
They
mission or?
No, they are a freight transport. They are running on,
Got it.
I mean, they're running on low warp.
Hmm.
This is a well-used transit corridor
Sure.
for supplies and things like this. This is standard civilian freighter. carrying, of course, because it's Star Trek, they were carrying like stuff for the Regellian plague or something like that,
Sure.
of
Yeah.
course, vital
Hmm.
supplies. And yeah. Let me come
Yeah.
back to Vex.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, please. Yes. You got one more momentum left.
I'm gonna I'm like, oh my God, this is like whatever. View screen didn't show anything. For a second, I go, wait a minute. And I'm gonna scroll through all of the internal cameras on the ship to see if there are any that are looking out a window, like a viewport, to get as much different like looks out of the ship as I can to see if maybe I can catch a glimpse of what this thing is. And I don't know
I
if
think
that
that's
counts as a
fair.
I don't know if
I'm
that
gonna,
counts as a question or
I
whether
think
it's another roller.
I think that is a question.
Sure.
I will tell you that what you get is like it's real sense. The ship start like you get just a moment of the crunch in. The ship starts to give, and then everything blows out.
Yeah.
Uh, and like there is also the sensors get burned out. You suspect whatever that radiation blast was that hit the
Sure.
people also immediately hit the sensors and burned them out. So it all happened sort of so fast.
Okay.
Um, the thing that strikes you is like uh, the radiation kind of seems like an add-on because it certainly didn't melt the ship at all, from what Marino has seen.
Yeah.
Vex. I want to give you an opportunity as our science officer to make a check. Uh, Commander Moreno around this wrecked vessel uh, picked up traces of verteron particles.
Hmm.
Would you like to make a roll to analyze that?
I think I would. Let me see. I think that pulling out my scanner, verteron particles, fascinating. She gets to work on that, which I guess role-wise is going to be, what do you say, reason and
That
science.
seems reasonable.
And I'm assuming, is this quantum mechanics, warp field dynamics, something in that neighborhood?
I don't think it's going to apply for that.
Okay.
Uh, but you are going to get
Physics,
the ship's die as an add-on
ship's
here.
diet. Okay, then I have another question, which is
Yeah,
I have these talents. One of these talents is called, well, this might be a specialty. I don't know what they really are. So, but I do have the ability to um, gain an additional character
yeah.
trait, which is the name of the blah, 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 reflects it. Twice per adventure, you may declare that a past host had experience or expertise in a specific field and
Yeah.
gain up.
So this would be essentially unusual radiation would be,
Okay.
I think, would be the focus here.
Okay.
Um, so Tella, is this something that uh, Froden knew, or is this another one of your past lives?
Could this radiation have a military application? Otherwise, I can come up with a new one.
Probably not.
Okay.
It-
I'm gonna say that I have a prior symbiont pairing that was oh, I don't know. Let's call them um Silva Vex. And
okay.
Silva was a pilot of was it something that interstellar travelers would be something they would need to be aware of or encounter? Is it astro? I
They
mean,
might. It's a very unusual form of faster than light radiation.
okay, so maybe it's yeah, okay, maybe it's or maybe what was the name of it? Silvavax was a kind of a sketchy merchant who was
Okay.
trying to move a supposedly cutting edge but often dangerous and poorly tested devices for new, better forms of subspace communication or something like that. So or perhaps better travel engines or something that would involve using this particle technology. And so
Okay.
good old Silva, the con artist slash phony engineer, maybe. Um,
So that will make it 17/5 for your two
okay.
dice.
making a note so I can remember good old Silva because I'm going to flesh them out later. All right. Yeah, 17-5, two dice.
2 dice.
And let's see. Then I don't get to do fancy things very often. So let's see. Um, so am I attempting a task with science? The first
Yes.
bonus D20 I purchase is free.
Okay, so you can take a roll of 3d20.
And I have to succeed before I can use that talent. So 3d20, 17-5.
Yeah.
Here we go. And I want, where do I do this? I don't know if I'm rolling the right number of dice. Let's see, two. Oh, nope, not 6. Don't mind me. Let me clear it and hit the button again. Now that I know where I'm supposed to be doing this. Damn it, it jumped me from 2 to 4. Let's go one more. There we go. Oh, wow. A 1, a 3, and a 10.
So right now you're at 5 successes.
There you
So
go.
for 2 of those, you can definitely pick up a trail. Like a trail comes in
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell like where it comes from in terms of a slight diminishment in strength and where it goes on to. And I think you can tell it continues along the corridor, which means it continues along, you know, a well-traveled space lane.
Okay. So does this suggest, so I'd like to ask a question.
Sure.
So one question is, so does this suggest the cause of the impact was leaving a trail of these that I could follow?
Exactly. Yep. That seems
Okay.
perfect. Like it would be possible to follow this thing.
Okay. And then, is there anything other than questions and momentum I can do?
You could create a trait if you can think of
Okay.
a trait that'd be appropriate, like well, you could say like a Tetrion, it's not Tetrion, Verteron,
Uh,
Veruron,
Verteran. So
expertise.
just so you know, theory into practice it says whenever I use that additional D20 from testing a theory, which I did, um, I form a hypothesis, and in doing so, I generate 2 bonus momentum.
Okay.
So I've got 2 extra momentum in the kitty there.
So
Um,
we'll spend because the bonus momentum would normally go away, so you spend those for the trait.
okay,
So you've still got 2 momentum hanging on, which
okay.
you can use to ask questions, create another trait, or put them in the momentum pool.
So how many questions via using, am I using obtain information currently? Is
Yep.
that what I'm doing? Okay.
Yep.
Have I asked just one so far?
You got your base question and then the additional 1 question, so you've asked 2 so far.
Okay, so it says when I ask 2 or more questions, this is rapid hypothesis, I may immediately create a trait representing my theoretical understanding of the subject
Yep.
of
So
the
what do you want to call
questions.
that trait?
Verteron emissions,
Okay.
maybe, or emitter, maybe is a better word. I don't know.
Order on trace, maybe, because then that's something we can follow.
Yeah, that
Okay.
works. Yeah. So, I have a trait
Okay.
now.
And still have 2 momentum left?
Well, what are we at now? I can just put those in the bank.
Yes, you could. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do what, yeah,
All
okay,
right.
let's do that because we are move back to characters. Oh, well, what's the total? Is that 5 with or oh, we've already added it or
I
is
just
that
added the 5. It was
Yes.
at
okay?
3, which
We're
is
up
5.
to 5. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, uh,
So then I turn and I say, whoever it is that ordered me, was it Commander Moreno?
Skiskara.
Oh, is Ascara's present? Okay, so
Yeah.
I turn and I report back to Ascara my results. Say, I found this the particles. We can trace them. I've developed a hypothesis about the nature of these particles that should help us hone in and locate the source. It's quite an unusual form of emission, Captain.
All
And
right.
Captain Ascara, you've been getting the reports in from Tavilic has relayed that.
Hmm.
Taven has related that. Marina, how have you described this?
Um, for lack of a better word, Skipper, it it appears like something bit the ship.
Something bit the ship.
Yes.
That would be a
Like,
very big something.
yes, bigger than what we dealt with the other week. I
Okay.
mean, it looks like teeth marks from this point of view.
And they never saw it coming, sir. Whatever it was. Um, there was no warning. No orders were given for evasive maneuver or weapons. It 1 second they were there, and the next the ship was falling apart.
We need to find this thing and make sure it doesn't eat anyone else.
We need agreed. We should also put out warning buoys,
Yes.
warning all away from this space lane until this investigation is complete.
Agreed. I'll let Admiral Karinsky know.
And you'll arrange for them to beam back. And Captain Escara, I think there is a moment when you're sitting there and you look up and you will see Commodore Shelley is there, and his eyes have lit up. And he says, "Looks like we have a hunt, Captain."
It sure does, Commodore.
And that's the end of this episode. We'll take up with the next half next time.
Thanks.
Let's do quick stars and wishes. Rich, you have to step away first, so I'm going to make you go first.
That sounds great. Really great interactions with folks. First star to you, Lowell, for setting up three characters that we could all have folks glom onto with their pasts. That was really clever, and I loved all the interactions. Huge star to Mike for the like, would you like a shawl? That was so good. You're really great with the literal humor, Mike. It's pretty special. I was worried 5 players, but I felt like you did a great job of juggling, and we were all pretty giving to each other to make sure everybody had some chance to shine, and I appreciated that. I especially liked when folks were like, "Oh, the captain is worried. Let me." That was nice. That was. I wasn't sure how to play it, so I hope it didn't make Ascar seem like a weenie that he actually, was a little rattled. So thank you guys for stepping in and booing him up. That was great.
Anything wishes wise?
Wish face spied you. Is that what we called it in the chat? A space kaijo?
Spade you. Okay.
Spade you? Something like that. That was yeah. I'm just more. Sounds
Okay.
great.
Okay. Jim.
You just muted so that you could talk. You were unmuted before that.
The other way, there we go.
The other
Thank
way.
you. Thank
And
you.
you're the
Sorry about that.
communications
Yeah.
officer.
I am the communications officer. Well, it's the antennas are fine.
Yes.
Seriously, nothing to worry about. I liked that. That was a Mike. That was a great interaction between Taven and Chivilic. I really like that. Uh, because it was, I mean, I joked about it as in character, but the sense that Taven is like, okay, there is no scientific evidence to support this, but we all know how these cultural things can go. So, you just kind of put that out there, and I'm looking forward to you being able to say that you told me so. It's that'll be a lot of fun. Gwen, I'm enjoying meeting your various past incarnations. That's a lot of fun. And I particularly loved the idea that like when you start thinking hard about like when you meet someone from a previous incarnation that your personality changes a little bit. I dug that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was nice. But you played it subtly, like you pointed it out, but you played it subtly, and I think it would like I'm absolutely picturing how that would have gone in the show. I think and it was just super super cool. Rich, I love that you like you were um that you let us take care of you was cool. And that's neat that's kind of a like when you're watching a new Star Trek show, that's one of the things that kind of develops over the season or seasons is like, how does the crew know when the captain, like, when is the captain on? When are they off? When is, it's like, and it's funny because like I, I'm picturing Benjamin Bratt with just like, corner of his mouth turned down just a little bit,
Hmm.
because he's like a little bit cranky, and we had, we're there to help him feel better and stuff like that. And Jolene, always a delight to play with you. I'm really happy that we're getting to share the bridge again. And this is cool. You guys didn't see it, but we were like talking in chat with each other about fun stuff we can do with our characters and stuff like that. And that's one of my wishes is that we get the opportunity to go ahead and do that. And Lowell, uh, uh, like I think I speak for all of us when I say we're devastated about what happened to you, and I hope that you can
Yeah.
get it fixed. And you are a fucking trooper for stepping up and running this for us with everything that is going on.
Yeah.
So thank you. And just really, yeah, we really deeply appreciate it because I know that this is going to be incredibly vexing for you. So thank you.
Now, Rich, if you need to step away, you need to go get your kid.
Yep.
We will sign out on that. Gwen?
So Starda, yes, Ascaras. I love watching him be uncomfortable with the old man in the house, So that was fantastic. And I'm really interested to see how Trevelik's lack of self-care with his medical condition plays out. I want to see if that develops into one of those moments when it, endangers others or whatever, and the moral nature of it becomes clear. That's always fun. And yeah, I really want more. I would like more opportunity to interact with Moreno, Jolene. I don't know if we've are played much together before now. And I'd really enjoyed the, I don't know, there was like a kind of, Moreno was a good foil for Vex's sillier behaviors. And so that was a lot of fun to play
Yeah.
that scene. I like that. I like doing that sort of thing a lot. And of course, a couple people have mentioned it, but I've played with you in other games, Mike, and you were always great, but the timing, the comic timing on Tven is really amazing. So thank you so much for that. And of course, Lowell, just to second what Jim said, and just wishes a big thank you. I'm sorry, but a big thank you. And you do such a great job of putting characters in situations where it seems like you've got bringing the different plot lines together in a way that feels both natural and like organically developing, but also as if it were scripted.
Hmm.
So that's a real
I
skill that I
appreciate that.
really
Thank you.
admire. So thank you for that.
Mike?
Yeah, it's always problematic to go last because everyone's already said anything. But I had an absolute blast with this. This still feels very, very Star Trek, which is good. He's gone now, but star to the captain for always taking decisive action when there's captaining to be done, and it was good this session to see some indecisiveness there and to see him supported, especially by his number one. Commander Moreno was acting as a screen between Shelley and Oscara, so I had a staff for that, continually stepping in and kind of managing the captain a little bit, but softly, because he doesn't need that much management, I don't think. Started lower for three awesome NPCs that very quickly sort of took focus, and I had a particular staff for Black Law being blunt as heck as soon as they were introduced. That was that really made that character stand out in my mind. I had a staff for Chivilik for tagging along behind Black Law and Vex, and then
It's great.
yeah, for that whole interaction was a lot of fun. Yeah, stuff for Vex for the changing of demeanor and constantly bringing in prior incarnations, and yeah, you are. I can see the changes in behavior as you go, but it is subtle, so it's really interesting to see that character. It's something I don't remember taking a lot of note of in the show when we had Trill characters, but it makes me keen to go back and see. Uh, I am certain that the actors were doing a lot of that, and I just didn't notice because I was probably 19 when I saw it. Um, Starter Javilic for the "This is like meeting your partner's ex."
Yes.
That was a great line, and having the stand up set at the reception dinner, I thought that was really cool. And yeah, that was the last one I wrote down. I'm sure there are many more. I guess from my perspective, that there's a couple of potentially pending medical emergencies. I would like to see Chivilic lose it a bit more.
Okay.
I mentioned that I mentioned in the chat that I have prepared an anecdote about superstition becoming science. So that's a thing that I can pull from history. It's happened quite a few times. So superstition's not always wrong.
I like it. And Jolene.
Yeah, I mean, as Mike said, it can be hard going last. But there's so many stars. Gwen, I think this is our first time ever playing together, and I'm super excited for that. You were a blast. I loved how you nerded it all out completely, and I was like, all right, just gonna let her go. But also like the way you're playing the trill, I totally understand that because of like, oh yeah, I know I have acted differently when my old friends show up from before I transitioned. So I'm like, yeah, no, this makes sense. This totally checks out. Um, you know, Rich, you're not here, but big stars for you. Like, I just want to impress the old man. Why doesn't he like me? And it's sometimes not. You don't have. Not everyone needs to like you. Taven, your comic timing is great. Jim, a pleasure as always. I know we're like classic old friends, but I love Chivilic, and I can't wait to get our little banter thing going. The Wish, Gwen, I think we're in like one more session together. Fingers crossed that happens. But thank you, Lowell, so much for inviting me into the buffer of
Yep.
the other part of those sessions.
Yeah. And
Wish,
I appreciate you being flexible enough to come and do that. I really appreciate that.
yeah, I don't do anything on Tuesdays. It's fine. I
Okay.
don't, it's great. I watch my RSVPs like a hawk. So, but like I'm excited to see more of Chivilik's like the sickness that I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's fine. And like, I'm excited for Rich to like finally just step up to the Commodore and be like, this is my ship. And
Yeah.
like I'm excited to see what how crazy this Ahab gets because he's
Yes.
got Ahab vibes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you all so much. I really enjoyed that. I am going to stop the recording.